Okay, happy Sunday. Thank you guys so much for jumping on to a very last minute team anchored call. As you know, some of you might not know me that well, but my personality at times, hi Christy, tends to be like, let's plan something, let's do this. And I get these grand ideas and then I just activate them. So thank you for those of you for being flexible with me. I'm working on planning out a little bit more. I already have plans for us for something in October. So it's getting better, I promise. But I appreciate you jumping on tonight. What I really, I was actually texting back and forth and had a great conversation with Katie Noah, one of our leaders. And she's incredibly strategic. And what she was helping me understand is that we all want to go to Disney, right? Who wants to go to Disney World? Yes, lots of hands. All right, all right. So the key to that contest, and just kind of anything in general, in being successful in Isagenix, I know so many of you are coming out of Celebration and wanting to run, is bringing in new members, is enrolling people. And I know that it's summer for a lot of you still. We're going into our second week of school, our first full week. But I know a lot of you are in school and are not in school yet, or kids are off, or you're planning epic camping trips for the weeks ahead or the weekends ahead. But I really feel that we have an opportunity next week to bring in some new enrollments, to just really buckle down, use the tactics that some of these women are going to share with us this evening, and really bring in some new team members. Now, not sure why our webcam isn't working. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. So I think one thing I really want you to focus on, or what I want to let you know, and you probably have already seen it around, is that essential oils are coming out the full line on Tuesday. Now, I don't know. I didn't read the email from Isagenix carefully. I'll do that maybe while some of these people are talking and see if there is a special. I believe there was going to be a special going on with it. I'll look later. But the full 10 set with the coconut oil and the diffuser is going to be available to everybody. And Isagenix is ramping up with another Facebook Live happening and some good information. So what I suggest for you guys is that you take the time to contact all of your current inactive and active customers, just with a nice text message saying, hey, this is a week. The essential oils are coming out. I think as business leaders, you all need to take the time to look into why are our essential oils great. There was a video I posted on Team Anchor Biz and some of the other pages that talks about what our essential oils do, why, how to use them, all of that stuff. And if you can, start semi-incorporating them into your life. I don't expect all of you to become super oily people if that's not what you've been doing. But there are very easy ways to incorporate essential oils. And honestly, I think it'll help you and you'll see results. And it's a great way to promote more of our product. It's another option for people to add to their auto ships every month, if they don't need 4 canisters of shakes or if they're looking for something. So it is up to you, though. You cannot expect Isagenix to contact all your people. I like to use an app called the Hit 'em Up app. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it allows you to send one message out to a lot of different people in your contact list on your phone. Now, I think I haven't found a way to do it all at once. You still kind of have to do it one by one in a sense. So I think it's important that you take time to personalize if you can. I hate getting just mass text message. Like, it would turn me off if one of my leaders was like, hey, happy end of summer, just so you know, and nothing personal. So either try to make the message sound like you're talking to people in a more personal way, or take time to just run to their Facebook page really quick and be like, your trip to Wisconsin looked amazing. Just want to let you know. I know that's time consuming, but sometimes that extra touch can go a long way. And it might open up conversations for them, especially some of your customers who haven't ordered in a long time or have completely gone inactive. Why not touch back with them about the oils? You never know if they were sitting on the fence wanting to re-jump in or reset themselves after summer. So, I think it's really important we communicate that to every single person. And if you haven't had a chance to get the essential oils, they will be available Tuesday. I will be updating more. I have so many ideas. I was live I kind of partnered up with Isagenix last week. Or this last week to give some ideas on how to utilize the essential oils throughout our day. So I'll be posting those on our page as well. I also hired a photographer about a week ago who took a ton of photos, beautiful photos with our oils in a lot of cool ways. So I'm going to be uploading that album onto Team Anchor Biz later today. it's going to be a lot of photos. So feel free to take those photos and use them for your social media, for your Insta stories, for your Facebook stories as needed. I really want you guys to have some good content. And I knew it would take Isagenix a little time. So I decided to hire someone and do it myself. So hopefully you like what was done. You can edit or whatever, make it your, whatever you want. They're all for you to help all of us. So I will upload those later. And this week, going back to what I was originally saying, this is going to be a mass enrollment week, especially for people wanting to do Disney. Because if you enroll people this week, they will get their products next week, without like this week into next week. That will allow them to maybe get a jump start before Labor Day, get some products in their system. And then there may be some seasonal products coming out in September. I can't say much because it came from the Fab call, so I'm not going to get myself in trouble right now and kicked off the Fab because I like knowing things to help you guys. But just trust me, in September, some seasonal products will be coming out. And what's so great for the Disney contest is if your people are already enrolled and they already have these products in their system for a bit, they're more apt to then purchase the seasonal products as well, which will then count to their Disney contest points too. So we want to get people going. And then September 10th through the 16th is going to be a massive consultant craze week where we just really want to pour into helping you guys build as many consultants as possible. So right now we're doing a call like this all about enrollments, getting tips from some of our most steady enrollers throughout the summer. We're going to, on the flip side, we're going to be doing another call before that week, September 10th through the 16th, talking about creating consultants and the best way to do that. So again, I picked women to do this call. Many of these women have a lot of men who have been helping them along the way, supporting them. Yeah, I see you, Steven. And just really, so just know, like, Nikki, if he has something to add, feel free to bring him in. Or if you guys have tips as to what your husbands or spouses or other people have been doing, this is not just a female business. We have a lot of guys rocking and rolling, and we are so grateful for both. That being said, let's get into this. Oh, really quick, I'm going to add, this week, every single day on Team Anchored Biz, I'm going to have a special prize for people that enroll people. So some days it may be some gift cards, it might be some special items. It's just going to be little incentives for you every single day this week. If you enroll people, you can take advantage of some of those prizes that we're going to be giving out. Some days it might be if you just enroll one person. Sometimes it might be you have to enroll 2 or more. So look out for that. Just fun images from me every single day. Stephanie, my assistant's going to help send those out to you guys. But I look forward to just kind of giving you some fun incentives and contests and little things to earn this week to make it more fun and to just encourage you to go bless more people with this gift of Isagenix. All right. Are we ready to get into the call? Let me see. I want to get my list back up. I put everybody in alphabetical order. I'm so proud of myself for doing that. Who did I have first on the list? Who was the first? Oh, right here. Okay. Bonnie, it was you. Okay, so I'm just going to go through and let these leaders tell you a little bit about themselves. They're each going to share their enrollment story, which I think is important because I think it'll give you some ideas as to how and why they enrolled and maybe give you some tips as to some people that you could enroll yourself. And then they're each going to give their top 2 tips on enrolling. So please make sure you're taking notes and listening intently because these have been people that have been very active and very consistent all summer long. And while a lot of people kind of take summer off, they've been doing the do and they've been sharing this gift. So Bonnie, take it away.
Hey guys, I'm Bonnie. I know this says that I'm Marcus, but that's my husband, sorry. Thank you, Laura, for having me tonight. It's been great. I've loved these products. I actually became a user from my mom, who is a nurse practitioner, and she works 12-hour shifts and would call me on her way home and would be so exhausted. And I was like, why are you so hyper all of a sudden? And why have you so much energy? It's like, you're at a 10. I need you to be like at a 7. So she actually drove to my house. And I was like, I'm going to show you why, and you're going to do it, and you're going to love it. But I was actually waiting for an opportunity. My youngest was going back to school this fall, and I wanted something to do. I wanted something to not just be at home. So I was actually looking for an opportunity, and just nobody ever reached out in some ways to me. I didn't want to get a real job. I wanted to be able to work from home. And so my mom basically was like, this product is amazing, but like, trust me, I've looked at the compensation and this is something that you could totally like kill. So I jumped in and I, of course, wanted to get my money back. So I just started sharing with friends. This summer, I am an incentive girl. I like incentives. I like gifts. That's my love language. So if you dangle a carrot, I'm going to go for it. But so this summer, really, the two main things that I've also been doing it with my husband, and he's just like me. He will just talk. He makes friends everywhere. We leave an airplane, and he's got 10 new friends that he made on the ride or whatever. But we really have just been sharing with a lot of people. And two main things that we've done is stay consistent in social media, and not just Facebook and not just Instagram, but also Instagram stories. LinkedIn. Probably half of the people that we've enrolled off of social media have come from LinkedIn randomly. We don't know them, but we're just posting on there. And most of them have pretty good jobs and don't mind like putting out some cash. So, I mean, it's a different, they're busy, they're fast paced, you know, business people, and they want something healthy they can take with them. Probably half of the people that we've talked to from social media are from LinkedIn. So don't forget some of the other ways of social media, because we post on Facebook or, you know, here and there. Also, Facebook, there have been people that have reached out that I would have never gone after, but just consistently getting it in front of their faces and highlighting the different products, not just the shakes, because they know we're a shake company, but the different products, and seeing, like, finding what they need actually, like the e-shots or, you know, the vitamins. So really people realizing we have a lot of things, and it's because we're highlighting different things on social media, and I mean, like every day, that being consistent with that has really been like, okay, let me order, let me figure this out. And with that, our second thing that we've done this summer that has been huge for us is the follow-up. We realized early on that we're losing people in the follow-up. So we made a system. I am a Post-it girl myself. We've turned kind of our, I mean, we wanted to jump in and make money. We want to max it out. So we kind of pretty much turned half of our bedroom into like enrolling station. We have poster boards on our wall. And we would have prospects on one poster board, and then after we talked to them, we moved them to a follow-up poster board. I'm in pink, he's in blue, so we know who's following up with who. And from that, because we always know that, like, if you just say, okay, well, here's the information, and, you know, let me know if you want anything else, or let me know if you want to try it, well, they're probably not going to let you know, or they'll probably forget about it. Only a few will really come back, like, strong. But if you say, like, here's the information, I'm going to send it to you tonight, I'm going to call you tomorrow, what time works? That's going to make them be like, okay, let me look at this, let me do that, and be like, I'm putting you on my follow-up board, so I'll talk to you tomorrow. So they know that, like, you're serious. It kind of, in our, we've kind of found that it lets us know also who's kind of serious and who's not. Like, who's just kind of maybe just wanted to talk to us about things, or who's just checking it out and are going to come back in a month. And they have. We'll, you know, plant the seeds, and sometimes people will stay on that follow-up board for a couple of weeks. But then sometimes they'll go back on the prospect board, or they'll go on the new customer board. So we're visual people, and we're always messing with Post-it notes and kind of getting it out there. And that's just what we want to build. We want to run. So we're like, let's just do this and let it take over our lives, which is funny because on my Instagram stories, I've started doing a lot of things in my bedroom because people start asking me, what are those boards behind you? Like, what are these things happening behind you? So it really does kind of spark some information, like, oh, my health and wellness company is just blowing up with people with results. Don't you want to see? And so it's really just a way to kind of merge that. But we realized we were forgetting people to follow up with, and there were just too many people that we were talking to. And so once we put a board together and we're like, okay, names on the board, have you followed up with that person? That's your color. Or, you know, like, here's my person, let's move her to the new client, because then we got to follow up in a different way. And that has been, I mean, it's kind of made my room go from a cute little hotel looking room to a little bit of a crazy center with all these different colors everywhere. But, you know, my 4-year-old's joining in. She'll go grab me some pink little Post-it notes and kind of put them up there herself. So to us, that follow-up and making that appointment for the follow-up has really caused people to decide, do they want to do this right now? And we kind of just let it be like, hey, look, it's up to you. You want to do it? We have plenty of people coming on. Our board is full, but we'd love to add you and make it fun kind of for that. Like they kind of almost a fear of missing out. Like they want to be on your team because like they want to hang out and they want to like, you know, call and talk and like make little plans and stuff. So kind of making it like that as well has been really helpful for us.
That is awesome. Those are some great tips. I've never heard of that follow-up board. I've never thought of that, but that's so true. That's so good. We have a whiteboard that we like kind of write things on, but I think the actual task of putting things like little Post-it notes, that's such a good idea.
Yeah, we really go from like a prospect to a follow-up. Yes. To a customer, to we walk you through the first week and then you're like a little bird flying. And so it's kind of taking everybody on that journey, lets us know kind of where we are.
And you did have one question. Do you share differently on LinkedIn than you do Facebook and Instagram?
We share a lot of before and afters. And like myself personally, I don't have a lot of before and afters because I was so not happy with the way I looked. I wouldn't take them. I would fight somebody if they were trying to take my picture. I didn't want them, but there's a lot of people that have before, like Isagenix transformations on Instagram, or people are putting in their stories constantly before and after. We put, one of our teammates, Dawn, just lost 55 pounds and she's gunning for that stage next year. So, I mean, we're putting people before and after. Feel free to go to my Facebook and take any from there of our team or whatever. But we share like, hey, this is exciting. This is crazy. Or even if we have a good week, we're going to share our compensation. Like, look at, hey, this is just the opportunity that's arise, because I wanted to lose weight when I came on, but I wanted something that I can do when my kids were in school and still make afternoon activities and not have to clock in. I was a teacher and I loved teaching, but I just wasn't going to be available for my kids as much as I wanted to be if I went back to that. So to me, I was looking for an opportunity, but I knew it had to be something that really gave me the ability. And so when I first joined, it was just me. It was just me doing it. And then my husband started seeing not only the results, but like, I mean, I fired our housekeeper within the first week, and he was like, what are you doing? But I had so much energy. I was like, I'm good. I got this. I can totally do it. So he kind of was like, what's happening? But the financials, so we highlight the good and we highlight the weight loss, we highlight the energy, the performance, but we highlight that money too, because you have business-minded people on LinkedIn and they like residual income, as well as Facebook and Instagram. But LinkedIn is business. Like it is definitely business-minded people looking for residual income. So show them that opportunity and show them what they can do with it. And we've had a lot of people come with that for sure.
Great tips. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Bonnie. Huge congratulations to you guys. We'll see you in Disney World.
Yes, definitely.
All right. Miss Erica, are you there? I muted myself on accident.
I was like, I thought maybe she said Erica, but I wasn't sure. Hi. Okay, so mind the smoke. We are in North Idaho. If you look on the map right now, we are in Forest Fire Central. So, but I thought I'd be outside because my sitter's in with my kids, and they're a crazy town. So, I'm out on my smoky porch. It's not a filter. It kind of looks cool though. Anyway, so my story. So I'm a high school science teacher, and I have two kids. Right now they're 3 and 1, 15 months or whatever, but I usually just say 1 because that's difficult math. So when I first enrolled, it was because I was feeling like I was like probably my lowest as far as how I felt. And so like I had no energy. I would get home from work, from teaching putting my heart into all of these other kids, and then coming home and being like, I need a nap. Mommy needs a nap. And I couldn't nap because I had a little baby, and I felt like I need energy. This is horrible. I pour my heart into these kids at school, and then I come home and I'm exhausted. And then the other thing too is 8 months postpartum. There's a B. 8 months postpartum, and I couldn't lose the baby weight. And I was just really unhappy. You know, I didn't want to like not wear clothes around my husband, which is really, really sad in its own little way. So anyway, so my really good friend from high school approached me, and it's really funny. You should never, ever, ever give up on somebody, because I looked back and I didn't even realize this, but she had reached out to me like 2 different occasions, like a couple of months prior, and I didn't even realize it, but she reached out to me at the perfect timing. So don't give up on people. That's like a huge tip. And that's not one of my 2, but don't give up on people. So I said yes, because I was so tired and I wanted to lose my weight. I'm down 20 pounds, sometimes 21 pounds, which is like, yay. And I have so much energy. I never have to nap when they nap. So I'm in summer now, and I like have had the best summer of my life. I've literally been in a bikini all summer long with my kids. It's been the best. So yay. Anyway, so that's my story. So my 2 things that I think I've done to enroll people this summer. The first thing is our team is really good about doing challenges. So we've done both like a 30-day challenge, and then I'm actually in the middle right now of an 11-day challenge, and people are always looking to do something competitive, or at least do something with others. You know, we always say, you know, who do you know that will do this with you? And this is the greatest opportunity for you to be able to say like, okay, well, I'm doing a Facebook Live, and here's, you know, hey, you know, who wants to do a challenge, cash prizes, you know, all the fun stuff, getting them excited about, you know, it's not too late to get summer ready, however you want to spin it. And then I always say, who are you going to do this with? You know, and so then there's more enrollment right there. So we do a 30-day or 11-day. And then, so that's my first thing, is doing a challenge. And the second thing I would say are what I call my unique tasting parties. So everybody does like our traditional, you know, everybody does a traditional tasting party where you have people come over your house, you know, invite people, have people bring friends. I try to strategically have my tasting parties during a time when I'm doing a challenge, or I have people involved in a challenge. And the reason I do that is because I, you know, can post on our private challenge wall, hey, I'm having a tasting party. I'll hook you up with your next cleanse day, like give them some isodelites, you know, that kind of stuff. I say, if you bring a friend. So I will hook you up on your cleanse day if you bring a friend. And so I've gotten some enrollments that way. The other things I've done, you know, everybody does these tasting parties where I'll go to like a medical office and have people during a challenge, or during like preparing for a challenge, like, hey, you should join our challenge. It's a great time to join, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so there's that. But the unique part of what I like to do for my unique tasting parties. So I've made the mistake in the past by just like giving somebody a sample and just like kind of leaving, you know, so give a sample here, try this. And then I like don't stay there with them to have the conversation. Or maybe I drop off a sample for somebody, and I'm not doing that anymore. So don't do that. That's not good. It's so important to make sure that you can have the conversation, whip up a shake for them, or, you know, just so you can have that conversation. It's really important. But I like to attract people that have the same interests that I do. Well, I'm a huge golfer, so I absolutely love golf. I'm not great at it, but I love to do it in the summertime. And so when you golf, you do a ton of tournaments. You do 1-day, 2-day, 3-day tournaments all the time. And what's really fun is people love to get little like registration bags. And so what I've done is I've gone to like the committee that is putting on the tournament, and I asked them, hey, can I give you guys some like I'll do some slim cakes, or I'll do some amped hydrate, or some whey thins, and I'll just say, hey, can I put this in our registration bag? I always put my name with it, my card with it. I don't really have a card, but I make like a cute little, you know, whatever, with my name on it, so people know who's donated it or whatever. Sometimes the committee actually has a budget for these registration bags, and I've actually had people buy them from me. So that was really exciting. But the other thing too is that I'm not like I was before. I would, you know, give a sample and leave. I'm in the tournaments. So I am there being able to have the conversation like, hey, how'd you like your slim cake? You know, let's talk about that. Let's talk about what I do. And I'll always, in the morning, I will bring my shake with me, make it in front of people while everybody else is having their breakfast. And so then, anyway, so that's just kind of what I do. I try to bring it into something that I am doing. Hope that makes sense. Yeah.
I love that. That's such a great idea. And I think I like that you go the extra step to be involved. I think too, it's people think that they have to do something or be someone they're not. So somebody might be like, oh no, I need to go join a golf club now. But no, it's like finding out what you love. Or I've seen, people do that stuff for teachers or school people or nurses or stuff, but it's doing that extra step of coming back around to check on the sample or to have conversations about the sample. That's such a good idea. And I know challenges were how Kelly built everything from the beginning and how we did so much to just get people going. So those were great ideas too. Thank you so much, Erica. I really appreciate that. I hope the smoke goes away soon. Have extra cleanse. Thank you. All right, Miss Erin Gray.
Hello, everybody. I have my oils. Can you see them? I am super pumped for Tuesday, but that's beside the point. So I am Erin. Much like Erica, I was pretty much the same way in that it took me 2 years to finally say yes to my cousin. Like, I was to the point, you guys, where I almost unfriended her on Facebook because she drove me nuts talking about Isagenix all the time. Like, I was one of those people that was like, never doing that. Please stop talking to me about it. 2 whole years. And now she's like, well, thank God you finally did that, right? And I was like, I know. But very much like Erica, I just needed it to be the right time for me. And that was after I had my daughter, Rory. I think she was 15 months old at the time. And much like Erica, I just could not lose the weight. So there was that aspect, but I am totally honest about this, that if I wasn't able to make money with Isagenix, I would not have started Isagenix. And I'm very open about that all the time. Like, if there wasn't an opportunity to make money, I would not be here. So I say I'm like 75% started this for the money. So that's not one of my tips, but remember that there are people out there like me that are like, I need money. Hi, that's me. Let's do this. And don't forget those people because they are real, like me. So my tips, that's my quick enrollment story. Don't give up on people. It literally just has to be the right timing for that person. So if someone says no to you, it's not about you. It's about them. And that whole celebration story with the grandma's pie for everybody at celebration, like, do you want to see the dessert menu? No, I'm full right now. That has nothing to do with you offering a dessert menu. It has everything to do with that person being too full and not wanting dessert right now. So that was a huge thing for me. But my tips. I think a lot of people know at this point that I do most of all of my business on Instagram, and really Instagram stories. I would say 95% of my enrollments have come from Instagram stories, whether it's people I don't know or people I do know in real life that could easily text me because they have my number. They still message me after seeing my Instagram stories. So this is my biggest tip. It still blows my mind that we have people doing Isagenix that don't use Instagram story. And I know there are so many out there that still aren't using it or are scared of it. And I tell my team, like, go talk to yourself in the mirror. Or talk into your phone and practice it and look over and be like, oh my God, that was terrible, and start over. And just do it over and over and over until you feel comfortable talking to a screen, because it's weird at first. But I gave this tip on, I don't know, Laura, what it was called, but it was like a 3-star and above call I was like talking to millionaires, and I was like, oh my God, I'm peeing my pants in this chair. But everyone really loved that. So I wanted to just say the same thing to all of you, because a lot of you weren't on that call, and a lot of people always will text me or message me on Instagram and ask me for tips on it, and I just don't have the time to give everyone tips, so I want to do that here. And it's called H5, so it's HFIVE, and we'll go through them really quick. So this is all, sorry, let me back up. These are all post ideas and things you should be posting on your Instagram stories or Instagram or Facebook posts, because your telling your life story. We're not like walking billboards. I think Kelly posted this in her team page the other day. Don't be a walking billboard and only talk about products. I see that mistake happen on my team all the time, and it breaks my heart, where you only get on Instagram stories to talk about a shake or what's in a cleanse or we have free enrollment. And that's all you see on an Instagram. And you're like, this is so boring. Why do I want to follow this? You would never want to follow that yourself. So don't be that person. But a lot of times people are like, well, what else do I post? I don't understand. And I'm like, post anything. Like literally anything about your life, post it. Like you could think is the most mundane, boring thing in the entire world, but we are all mundane, boring people, and we all relate to that so much. Like I just posted about where would you want your laundry room? Do you know how many people message me about where they wanted their laundry room? Like it's insanity. And you guys, people reach out to you. So many people are like freaked out about starting conversations with people and like, how do I go talk to people? Have them come to you. Seriously, just ask people questions and they'll message you. And then you start having that dialogue of like, oh yeah, you want your laundry room upstairs by your bedroom? That's so funny. Okay, well, how's your life? How are you? And then they're like, well, how are you? And I'm like, well, I'm great. I'm doing Isagenix. I lost 18 pounds and made X amount of dollars in the past month. You know, when you start the conversation naturally and they reached out to you, you didn't even have to do anything. So it's not weird. But I'm like getting ahead of myself. So H. Heartfelt. So anything about your why, what you're emotional about, what like I want to never have to leave my daughter and go back to work again, the ooey gooey stuff. F is funny, so memes. My kid just pooped all over my living room floor 30 minutes before I got on this call. So I would post about that on Instagram stories. Like, that's my life. My kid just crapped all over my floor, funny memes, anything like that. Just a little comedic relief from your ooey gooey heartfelt. And then I is interest. So things you're interested in, your shampoo that you just bought that you love, something you purchased at Target. If your kids are your interest, golfing in a tournament is anything you're interested in. Yeah, Erica. So any of your own interests, telling people what you love in life. That's I. V is value. So providing value for people, or most importantly, asking other people for value. So this ties in with my whole laundry room thing, but I will ask people for recommendations for things all the time. Hey, I'm going to a new city. Where should I eat? Or, hey, I need a new vacuum cleaner. What do you recommend? That's like my most commented on thing is vacuums. But like there are times where I don't even really need the advice, but I still put it out there because I want those people to be messaging me and reaching out to me and being able to start those conversations. So that's V, value, providing it and asking for it. And then E is educational. So that is where we talk about the products and the 24 grams of protein and our cleanse is made up of whatever. And these little Iso-Delight chocolates have green tea. And this is why you should do Isagenix. That's educational. But that's only 1/5 of the H5. It's not your whole story because it's not your whole life, you know, it's only a part of it. So that is my biggest tip is that one. And I don't think I really even need to do another one because I've taken up a lot of time with that one. But that's my biggest tip is to just demonstrate your life in a way like a reality television show would, you know, like there's a lot of ups and downs and entertaining things involved in there, not just products. And it's a great way for people to start having those conversations with you naturally instead of being like cold messaging people on Facebook, like, hey, you want to try some shakes? You know, like that's awkward for us. This isn't because it's starting conversations naturally. But you guys, if you are not on Instagram stories, like get off of this call and go try it because you must get on Instagram stories. That's my biggest tip.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you. It's so nice to have that acronym. Is that yours? Is that copyrighted Erin Gray?
It's not, but I don't even remember where I found it. So I'm going to have to look.
It will be now. You can just own that one. So thank you. Oh, somebody had a question. Do you share your Instagram stories to Facebook, and do you try to go through the H5 daily on Insta stories?
So I don't use Facebook stories at all, and I don't automatically upload them. I don't personally watch Facebook stories. I don't have the time in my day to do two things at once. And I think I don't know. Do people use Instagram or Facebook stories? Yes, no, yeah, okay. Maybe I'm missing out, but like one of my other tips is focus on what you're good at and kind of, pick two. And that's what Laura always says, pick two avenues and forget the rest because life is too nuts to do it all. And do I do H5 every day? No, I don't have like 5 different posts every day, but generally if I'm like thinking in my head, should I be posting this? I'm like, is it one of these 5 things? Or I'm like, okay, I just did a long cut story, like heartfelt 10 click long, like whatever 10 tap long story from the heart. Like I cannot talk about anything else that deep today. It has to be my kid pooping on my floor for the rest of the day, so you have to balance out the crazy with the non, I guess, if that makes sense. So starting in the beginning, like I would check it off if you're not used to it. But now I'm kind of in the routine where I'm like, okay, I did my Instagram about the products today. Now it needs to be about my actual life,
Yeah. And that's really helpful for people just starting, to give them that. Thank you so, so much. That was awesome. Thank you. Miss Katie, are you there?
Hello.
Hello. Tell us about how you enrolled in Isagenix.
All right. So I started back in February after, I think I have Erin beat here, 3 years of watching numerous friends that I've known through social media. Actually never met them in person, not even once. Just followed them on Instagram, on Facebook, and through blogs and everything like that. And I kind of watched them do their own thing with Isagenix. And so I knew about the products, but like Erin said, it wasn't my time. And then I quit my job and I became a stay-at-home mom. I have 2 boys, 3.5 and 2. He just turned 2. And at the time, after I had my 2-year-old, I could not lose the baby weight either. And I was desperate. Like I needed more energy. I needed quick and easy meals in my life. I did not have time to cook. I would like feed my boys lunch and be scrambling, trying to get them down for a nap. And I just wanted something quick that I didn't have to think about something, but that would fuel me for the rest of the day so that I could get things done. So that's how finally I got started. I just kind of was like, I'm done doing this. I need to change. This is what I'm going to do. And I jumped right in with the products. Okay. So for my 2 tips, I would say,
after watching for that long, and so what was it, a post? Was it that you just got so desperate? Was there like one thing that you can remember that clicked, that brought you in?
I was more so me. It wasn't a post that I saw. It was more so just me and how I felt, how crappy I felt, honestly. Yeah. At the time, I just knew I needed to make a change, and a big one. And I was like, this is it. I've seen these girls do this and these products and how good they are feeling. And I just wanted to be able to feel that way too. So I just decided to try it.
Got it. All right. Now give us some of your tips.
Okay. So I tell my team this and often remind myself this too, but whenever I'm feeling stuck, or if you're feeling stuck with enrolling, or say you're getting a ton of no's from people, and you can't figure out, what you're saying wrong. I have like a mentor or someone in your upline maybe proofread what you're sending out. Like if you're talking to people on social media or through text message, I would have someone proofread it and go over it, because you might not realize that you're coming across a certain way, or you might just need to switch it up a little bit. And people this is kind of like an A under my first tip, but you kind of need to be persuasive and very confident in what you're saying, because if you're not and you show any sort of hesitancy, they're going to feel that. And so I really try my best to like push them the way that I feel after hearing their goals and, you know, what they're looking for. I try to push them in a certain way and guide them and say how much they need this and how this will help them hit their goals and how much it'll change their life. And I just try to be very persuasive with them. I feel like that's the biggest thing that I learned, because in the beginning, I know I was like, what am I doing wrong? I'm getting so many no's, but it was my wording and how I was coming across. And until I had someone in my upline show me that, I didn't know myself. And then also, my second tip would be, I think, posting your strongest and most engaging content on Mondays and Tuesdays at the beginning of the week. I feel like people are really motivated to make a change in their life at the beginning of the week and set goals for themselves. And I find that by doing this, you're getting their attention at the beginning of the week. And you can keep carrying on that conversation. Say they don't want to enroll right away, but you can follow up with them. And then by the end of the week, you have them enrolled. And so on Mondays and Tuesdays, I really try to post, like, I'll think over the weekend, you know, plan it out in advance of what I want to post, and then post it right away in the morning. And I also, like Erin was saying, I forgot to mention this, but I use Insta Stories all the time. I like it because it's not so in your face. Like on Facebook, you kind of are in people's face, but on Insta Stories, people can kind of choose, you know, to see your Insta Stories. But that's good because you're getting the people that really want this and that may need that opportunity and have seen you post about them before. And maybe it was just something on your Insta Stories that caught their eye that morning, and they're like, okay, I'm ready. Like, you caught my eye this morning with what you posted. Sign me up. I get that all the time. And then also, I would say now especially, I mean, kids are going back to school and parents and moms are home now and they have more free time for themselves. And so if you post on Mondays and Tuesdays at the beginning of the week versus on the weekends, they're more likely to see it. And I feel like the weekends, you know, in news feeds and stuff on Facebook and Instagram, it can just be a lot of people posting all at once. And so you're not just, you know, you're not going to lose anybody and people are going to see it and your posts are going to be higher up. And so that's it. That's what I do.
Oh. Okay. And when you talk about engaging posts, for people that are still newer at social media or just haven't really done much with their posting, or they're just kind of getting into it, what would you consider an engaging post? And would you always bring it back to Isagenix, or would you make it more personal?
I do like to post a ton of like before and after transformation photos and my why and my transformation photo. But I think you have to have appealing graphics, especially if you're using Insta Stories. You have to make it pretty. So I like to use Canva, the app Canva, and you can create a bunch of different graphics there. And so I'll do that and then post like small victories that my team are having that week. Like if I get a text message in the morning, you know, from one of my teammates who lost 5 pounds, I will show how excited she was. Like I'll screenshot it on my phone and share it on my Insta Stories. It just gives people other perspective than your own story, but seeing other people's too.
I love that. Thank you so much. I think that's so important. I hope you all are thinking of all these amazing posts you're going to do in the next few days. I'm excited to see them. So thank you so much, Katie. I really appreciate it. Miss Mary, are you there? Oh, the app's name was Canva.
Hi.
Hi, Mary.
Awesome. I'm in. Hi, everybody. Laura, so much for having me. My enrollment story, my 2-year ISA-versary is almost coming up. and I work a large production swing dance event every year. And I was headed into the swing dance, this thing that I work, but we dance all day. We take lessons all day and dance all night. And I was headed into it feeling the worst I'd ever felt. I was the heaviest I was. I was having to take naps every day. I couldn't sleep at night. I had a lot of inflammation, a lot of discomfort in my body and in my head. I'd been watching a girlfriend for a while on Facebook. So we're talking about social media. And I kind of talked to her, and I was kind of watching some testimonial stuff, and I was kind of being a stalker, and I couldn't figure out how I was going to afford it and all this kind of, just the typical stuff. And finally, it just got to the point where when I was at this swing dance event, I literally work all year so that once I get to the event, I can just enjoy the event. And the event kind of is part of my pay. The hotel and everything is paid for me. It's part of my pay. And I couldn't enjoy it. I couldn't dance. I was literally in so much discomfort. I couldn't dance. And that's where even when my box arrived, I still didn't know a lot. I was like, I don't understand. Do I still eat, can I still eat hamburgers? Because I love them.
Mary, I think we're losing you a little bit.
We enrolled him. Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. You're back.
Okay. So husband starts with me. We enroll him. And then it was just full speed ahead from there. And then I just kind of called up my dad, and then it was my dad's girlfriend. And then a girlfriend in LA saw what I was doing, and people started asking me. And it was I was kind of on my own in this a little bit. And so it was a little bit of still is fail forward. So I am not a social media genius like so many of these ladies that are on here right now, these wonderful blog social media, young, hip. I'm a really kind of in your face kind of person. And I got to tell you guys that a lot of the people on my team are men, right? Almost 50%. And I run in circles that are military and first responder heavy, and that's where a lot of my charity work is as well. I work on my own classic car. I ride motorcycles. I ride motorcycle for charity event. A couple of those men are on this call right now. So I'm enrolling men, not all the time, but pretty heavily. So let's not overlook that men are looking for something too. And they might, I'm not talking about, I know the lady and I'm kind of talking to her husband. I mean, I'm enrolling the man first. And because we happen to be friends, or they're riding motorcycles or whatever is going on, or they're at these charity events that I work with, or some of the dancers in the swing dance circuit. And then what kind of happens is a lot of these men don't necessarily they may have a partner, a wife, or a significant other, and she doesn't want them doing this without her getting in. So then we end up enrolling that person, and now boom, they're halfway to consultant. So that's a pretty quick transition going in that direction. So don't overlook your men. I use a lot of Man Crush Monday posts. A lot of, and I don't mean necessarily rock star gym, shredded, body, 19-year-old or whatever. I mean, just the dads, these, some of these dads are looking for something convenient. They're working hard. They're stressed out. I also gift a lot. If I hear somebody or see somebody doing something traumatic happening on social media, like the fires, I have a lot of people that are trying to relocate or escape the fires. I'm sending them Ionics. It's a gift, but sometimes that turns into an enrollment later on. Brides, things like that. Anybody that that's maxed out, stressing out, a gift of Ionics can just open the door, or e-shots, something like that. Those have adaptogens too. One of the other things is, since I'm pretty direct with people, I speak as if, meaning there are some of my teammates on this call that I literally say, when you're on my team. Not if, not someday, when you're on my team. I see some of them shaking their heads. When you're on my team. it might have taken, they might have enrolled right away. They might have enrolled months later, but I keep talking to them. Oh, when you come to the team, oh, this is going to be awesome. Next year, when you come to the team, you come to Nashville with us next, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then my posts are very about all things randomness in my life. So Erica's talking about golf and things like that. I'm on the motorcycle. I'm posting like a culmination of like a Freedom Friday. I'm out on my motorcycle riding with my husband on a Friday while everybody else is at work. And then, you know, Shake Saturday. Oh, grab my shake, out on the motorcycles for the rest of the day. Got my e-shot, you know, my adaptogens because I'm still a new rider and a little nervous. I mean, these are truthful statements. I'm just putting them out there. I'm not staging anything. This is my real life. We ride cross country on motorcycles for a month every year. And for 2 people on one motorcycle, our nutrition is on that motorcycle. I also make friends everywhere I go. I try to pop them into my Facebook or get linked with them now a little bit more on Instagram. Some of those men are on this call right now. I met one of them on a cruise. He's one of my consultants. I met another one on this Run for the Wall ride that I'm talking about where we go cross country. I make friends everywhere I go, and then they're on my Facebook. So if they happen to see what I'm doing and reach out, you know, awesome. So I'm just kind of one of those people where I'll talk to anybody and just kind of start a conversation. And then the other thing is any social, like I shop and gift my own store. You guys, like if you're giving somebody a Target gift card, you're missing a huge opportunity. I shop and gift my own store. As a matter of fact, one of my brides is on this call right now. I'm gonna gift her a ton of product to give her whole bridal party and make their little like bridal party get ready gift bags, like, you know, the e-shots, the ionics, the chocolates, all that kind of stuff. So if I'm going to a potluck or a clothing exchange or anything that you need to bring something, I'm bringing some Isagenix peanut butter protein balls. So some of my team on here right now, they've had them, they know. I'm bringing Hydrate in a big thing. I'm bringing, you know, whatever. I'm not bringing some chicken salad. We're bringing some Isagenix, you know, recipe stuff. And then the conversation might, you know, get started like, what is this? Oh, this is my awesome protein. Like it looks like a brownie, but it's healthy, you know, whatever. So I'm just like, I'm super, I'm just like, I'm shopping my own store because I get paid back from my own store. I'm going to cook out of my own store. I'm going to present my own store. I'm going to gift my own store. Everybody at Christmas got sleep spray and coffee. I mean, these things where you got to bring a $10 gift and a $20 gift in a secret gift exchange. If you're not throwing Isagenix in there, you guys are missing a big opportunity. But also just the way that I speak to people that I know in person. And so, like I said, I need to get hip on the Instagram stories a little bit better, you guys, like that reach out with all you ladies that are maximum on that. But when I'm talking to somebody in person, I'm like just very direct, and I'm very like, when you're on my team and you need to get on my team, especially the guys, because I can talk to them that way. But I'm very direct, like when you're on my team and you're going to love this and look at what we can do for you. And then I'm a story collector. Like I know Erin Gray's story. I've never met her. I know Laura's story. I know there's a lot of ladies on here that I know your stories. If you've typed it out, I know your story. And if I can connect somebody that I don't have somebody on my team to show them your story, trust me, I've already shown you them the story, because I'm not the same story as Erin Gray. I'm not Laura Stevens. I don't have the kids at home. I don't have celiac. I don't, you know, my husband wasn't deployed at the time. So being a story collector is a good thing too. So sorry that was fast. Hope that was helpful for any of you guys. Appreciate you all. Thank you.
Go shop your store. Go shop your store. I love that, Mary. And Mary, how long have you been in now?
I'm coming on 2 years as a product user, and the business is completely accidental. So there's no real way for me to say like, oh, I started the business on this day. I just like right away, I got my dad on the products, then his lady, then I saw there was some money, then I started casually referring. And then I was just like, literally, you guys, my sponsor signed me up and then she ghosted. So I literally just failed forward until I connected up through my sub team and then up through Team Anchored.
Yeah, and she's done so well. And that's the thing, is she was one of our top enrollers the week of celebration. And it was just like, it's so fun to see you, Mary. So I love that. Thank you so much for all of your tips and all of your advice. I think that I wanted you to come on, and I was excited for people to hear from you because I know social media isn't the only way for everybody, and you bring really great perspectives and ideas. But I think I will never forget, shop your store. It was perfect. And yes, cheers to the men. And you make a very good point too. They're going to bring in most likely a partner or someone with, I've never thought of it that way. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Miss McKenzie, are you on?
Hi. How are you?
Good.
Can you hear me?
Doing, love?
Yeah, okay, good. Just checking.
Yep, we can hear you.
Hi, so
tell us how you were enrolled. Tell us how that, what pushed you over.
Okay, yeah. So I started Isagenix probably 8 months ago. It was December, so yeah. And I had actually watched the person that enrolled me for about 1.5 years before I enrolled. So Paige had reached out to me a few times. Hi, Erin. Had reached out to me a few times over the course of about 1.5 years, so similar to a lot of you girls. And I was just super skeptical. She would reach out to me and she would do the things that now I know are good, like send me a birthday message, and I'd be like, okay, like, I know you're trying to tell me things. And we're from the same hometown, so we grew up together, and so I was just super skeptical. And then I came to a point where my fiance at the time, now husband, I just got married in April. My husband's in the Marine Corps, and so we came to a point last December where we sat down and had a conversation, and he was like, I don't think we're going to be able to afford our wedding. And that was just like the worst feeling, because we'd already put our deposit down for our venue and everything, and our wedding was 4 months away, and we were like, there's just no way we're going to be able to pay for it. And I felt just obviously so devastated that I was going to possibly have to tell my family that we couldn't cut it. And our parents weren't helping us, and we kind of had it on our plate. So I reached the point where financially I needed that vehicle to be able to pay for our wedding. So like Erin, I really joined Isagenix for the money. I really didn't know that much about the nutrition. When I did the research, I did it on the compensation plan. And so I finally kind of reached that point where I was like, I have to figure out something. I was already working 2 jobs. My husband's in the Marine Corps. They don't make that much money. And so I just reached that point where I needed that financial vehicle. So I prayed about it, and the next day something just told me to reach out to this person, and I thought it was crazy because I had been so skeptical. But I finally reached out to her, and I got signed up, and I got my products paid for right away, like that week before I even got my box, because that was what was driving me. But on the health side of it, I just had my gallbladder taken out a week before that, and I'm a personal trainer, and my doctor was questioning me about my diet, and I got really offended because I was a personal trainer. I knew about health. But what I didn't realize was I was working out so much to compensate for the Red Bulls and the coffee and the things I was drinking to be working from 8 a.m. to midnight between my 2 jobs. And I was just exhausted, and my body needed the health. So Isagenix was such a blessing in the health aspect that I wasn't really looking for. I just needed the money. And so I got started. I was able to pay for our wedding. Our wedding was about $10,000, and probably maybe 1,000 of it came out of our money together. Isagenix, provided the rest for that. So that was just huge for us. And then once I got past the wedding, I kind of had to change my why and everything. And my husband's currently deployed. This is our 2nd deployment. We're almost halfway done. So woohoo, because ready for it to be over. And so then I kind of had to adjust my why. And so from that point on, I just kind of jumped right into the business. And in January, only 2 months after I started, I quit both my jobs, kind of to light a fire under myself, to make it a need thing, not a want, that I had to be successful in this for us, not use it as a side thing. If I wanted to, I have to, because that's the only pay that I'm bringing in. So that definitely helps. I'm not saying quit your jobs, don't do that, but that's what worked for me. And I was miserable at my job. So, yes. So my first tip is to be genuine. I seen a meme on Facebook the other day that made me laugh, because it said, when you get a message that starts with, "Hey girl," it's someone trying to sell you things. And I was felt personally victimized. I was like, okay, we've all probably sent out that "Hey girl" message en masse, because sometimes you get so busy and you're overwhelmed and you're trying to get a lot done, and it's easier to send out those mass messages, but it's not genuine or authentic to that person. So my tip would be to reach out to that person specifically. If you see them do a post about a 5K, reach out to them and be like, "Hey girl," okay, don't say "Hey girl," that's, "Hey name," "Hey Casey, I see that you're doing a 5K, and I was just going to talk to you a little bit about, you know, I'm going to join a 5K and I'm really interested in getting some buddies to do it with. And this is my nutrition. This is what's giving me so much energy to start running again. I know Laura's actually doing that right now. Or, hey, I seen you did a post about wanting to stay home with your new baby, and it really devastates me to hear this. If I could show you how to make, you know, $1,000, $5,000, whatever it is, would you let me map that out for you? Like, would you be willing to just let me show you? Not even anything to do with that, but just basically sharing that you have that vehicle for them. And it doesn't have to be like a generic, hey, I'm doing an online healthy happy hour. Hey girl, hey girl, hey girl. So really being specific to that person. Respond to people's Insta stories. If someone posts something about, you know, their new shoes, respond and be like, oh my gosh, those are adorable. You don't have to talk about Isagenix, but you can just respond to their stories and engage with them and make that connection. Especially as women, we connect so quickly with other women. You can go get your nails done, and by the end of the nail appointment, you probably know so much about each other's lives because we like to overshare and we like to connect. So for women, when we're reaching out and responding to their stories and showing interest in their life, that's going to mean something to them, not that we're just selling them things. So I would respond to people's Insta stories is one of my tips that goes along with, you know, commenting. Even I seen someone did a tip at Celebration that said, if someone makes a post like, for example, I wrote it down. Yeah, someone makes a post like, what are some good restaurants in Denver? And you've never been to Denver, you can Yelp restaurants in Denver and personal DM them and be like, hey, I seen this restaurant had 5 stars. I just wanted to let you know, blah, blah, blah. Make that connection. It doesn't have to be about Isagenix. So, you know, responding, just engaging with them and building connections, especially being in Hawaii. I have a good platform of product users, but I don't have a ton of other business builders out here. And so, you know, it's great to have that social media platform. That's massive for me right now. So really just being genuine to each person and not saying something that's that's not very broad. Because if you send the same message, or even in your enrolling process, whatever your script is or your system, if you're just saying like, hey, great, your goals, this, and this, and it's super generic and you're not really diving in with them, they're not going to feel like it's personal to them. If they tell you their goals are to feel good in that bathing suit, really talk to them about that. I really want to help you feel good. You deserve to feel good. And then if they start to slip off towards the end of that month, hey, remember when we talked about how bad you wanted to fit into that swimsuit that you love so much? Like, I want this for you, and you have the nutrition. Like, I want you to reach these goals. So doing that follow-up. And then my second thing along with that is just confidence along with being genuine. I had such a difference with closure and enrollments, having confidence, because I knew when I first started, it was expensive to me. I borrowed the money from my fiance because I was not making anything at my jobs. I had to borrow the money to start. So I would talk to people with a question mark at the end of my voice. I know it's expensive, but like, I promise it's worth it. Like, that's not doing it. You can't have a question mark when you're talking to people. And if you talk to them like it's expensive, they're going to believe you. Whatever you're telling them, they're going to believe you. The tone of your voice, the way that you're presenting it to them, they're going to completely believe what you're saying. So you need to come across with confidence. This is absolutely going to work for you. I had 2 girls this last week that were going to get good packs that went up to premium because I was so sure of it. I had broke down their weekly cost of groceries and it fit. The premium fit it. And I was like, you know, like, and so talking about they were spending every day as well as their goals and just all the benefits of it, they moved up to the premium. So obviously that's both beneficial for both of us that they did that because I was confident. And I remember when I first started, my enrolling sponsor told me, you need to have 100% belief in yourself, 100% belief in the company, and 100% belief in the product. And that's been huge for me too, because the more I grow, I know it's only been 8 months, but the more I grow in this, the more confidence I get, the more I believe in it every day. I know these products work. I know how I feel. I know this compensation plan is untouchable, and I know how much money I've been able to make, how many goals I've been able to reach, and I've barely skimmed the surface of the opportunity. And so I think it's really important to just have that confidence in yourself and in Isagenix. And so I would say, yeah, genuine authenticity and then confidence is probably going to really change your enrollments.
So I have a question for you. How did you build your confidence maybe as you were, you know, because you were building your business at the same time as you were building your confidence? By the way, I think you're absolutely amazing. Will you tell them how old you are?
Oh yeah, I'm 21.
21. I was not even close to this at 21. If my life could have looked like this at 21, it would be so different. So cheers to you.
I'm so thankful.
I inspire all these people to find the 21-year-olds in their life to help them. But so I just admire you so much on that. But I really wanted to ask, like, what did you do to build your confidence maybe when you didn't have that big story yet or you hadn't reached those milestones?
Yeah, so I was actually going to kind of make a point about that because I know me being like, hey, be confident. You're not going to get off this call and be like, wow, I'm so confident. Like, obviously you have to build confidence. I know that it doesn't necessarily come naturally. When I first started this, I would have never done a Facebook Live. I remember countless Uber drivers, because we Uber a lot in Honolulu, asking me about what I was drinking, about my e-shot. And I'd be like, oh, it's just this nutrition. But anyways, yeah, this is my stuff. Like, I didn't want to talk about it. I was terrified to talk about it. I would like start to panic because, God forbid, what if they say no? What if they don't like me? What if they don't like what I have to say? I didn't have the confidence to talk about it. So I know that when you're first starting, and even in the beginning, it's not always easy. But I slowly built up my confidence by practicing, literally duplicating it. I think that that's so important. Like, learning from other leaders, getting on the call, showing up, like, those are all things that are going to help you grow because when you watch other leaders, but really like practicing, you know, if you're nervous about Insta stories, like Erin said, practice, like just do one a day, a couple a day. Like you don't have to start out and, you know, be as good as Erin the first time. You'll get there. But just practicing, being like, okay, I know I'm nervous, but I'm going to do an Insta story about the new bedding I just bought. Like, I'm going to do it. So just make yourself do those small things. Even if you feel like you're going to throw up, like commit to doing a Facebook Live, even if it scares you. I think it's just really important to practice and duplicate those small things. Do what scares you. And one of my favorite quotes, I know it's super generic, but if your dreams aren't big, like if your dreams don't scare you, they aren't big enough. So if you have big dreams in Isagenix, then you should be doing things that scare you. It's just that one conversation in the gym, even if it takes you 7 attempts, but you finally have it, you'll be so much more confident the next time you have those conversations. Do your Insta stories, do the Facebook Lives, hold the online healthy happy hour or the sip and sample. Even if it scares you, just do the one. And even if no one shows up, still practice it. And then you're going to be confident in the next one. So I really think it's just practicing because I mean, like, even right now, I would have, no, if someone told me to do this 8 months ago, no, I would have not shown up. Like, but now I know to show up and how important that is. And taking every opportunity to an Isagenix, every promotion offered, go for it. Because if you have that incentive or goal, it's going to drive you to do all those little things to get there. And you have to do those things to get the enrollment. So I think it's important to like run for those things. So I would just say practicing and repeating, duplicating.
Go girl. Thank you so much. That was so valuable. Thanks. I really appreciate you getting on, and I'm glad you're feeling better.
Thank you.
We're cheering you on
Thanks,
to this deployment. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Miss Nikki. I'm so excited. Thank you so much. I would love to hear how you enrolled. And I would love for you to give us some of your tips. I have also been getting, just so you guys know, this is recorded. Because I've been getting so many tips and like flooded with my messages of people that are like, I need to share this. So I will convert this. This is so valuable. So Nikki, take it away.
Okay. Well, first things first, I wanted to tell Erin specifically that my kid pooped on the potty for the first time tonight. So there is hope. There is hope. Hopefully the potty is next. Okay, so Katie Krish is actually my enrolling sponsor, and I didn't know her forever. I just followed her on social media and actually her blog like years ago because we've had mutual friends. We went to high schools in the same area, so we know a lot of the same people. And so I just kind of found her through a friend, started following her, and then I would watch her stories all the time actually because we have kids almost the same age. I have a 15-month-old daughter and an almost 3-year-old son. So I would always, it started out like I would love it when she would post stuff about like deals she would get at Target or things that she would find like, I don't know, like special deals, because that's like what we're drawn to, right? Like things that we can relate to. So I kind of started watching her stories that way. And then I kind of saw her post about Isagenix and I wasn't really sure. And, but she posted all the time about it and it just really piqued my interest. And I have a lot of girls that I work with who do another network marketing company. I don't need to say names at my job, but I was kind of on the fence and I knew I kind of wanted to do something and I didn't really know what, but something was just drawing me towards Katie. She has a very infectious personality. And so, when the one post that got me, well, I'll get to that in a second. After my 2 kids, I just really, had a hard time kind of loving myself and focusing on myself, and it gets away from you because I work full time as an ICU nurse and I have 2 toddlers and a house and a husband, and we're busy at life, right? Like I'm no different than anyone else, but I just took no time for myself. And over time and over months and months, it backfired, and I just gained lots of weight, and I was very unhappy, and I would be frustrated if I didn't get to take a nap when my kids got to take a nap. And that's kind of when I was like, okay, this is not normal. Like, I should not be this tired. I have no energy. When your scrubs are tight, you have a problem, because scrubs are very forgiving. So that was a clue also. So I had been thinking about it, wanting to do something, and then Katie posted a paycheck, a really big paycheck. And I think it was probably when she hit 2-star, I don't know the details, but she got a huge paycheck, and it, like, a light bulb went off, and I was just like, what am I doing? I have to do this. Like, I've been wanting to lose weight. I would love to make some extra money. Like, I have to try this. So I kind of talked about it with my husband, and he wasn't really on board at the time because we were trying to sell our house. And I kind of just, a couple weeks later just said, okay, just take my money. I need to do it. And I remember getting my box and being really excited about it, and telling my husband, because he's my person, and you want to share your small victories, like, I lost 5 pounds in the first week or the first day or whatever. And I remember him specifically saying that, like, probably 2 weeks in, I don't want every conversation to be about Isagenix. You did, didn't you? Yeah, he totally did. And I was like, okay, you're the worst. Like, you are so unsupportive. Like, we're going to bed. And then the next day he was like, okay, I'm sorry. I want to be supportive. And, from the very beginning, I don't know why, but I just dove head in. And unlike what Erin was saying also, sorry, Erin, to call you out again, but my kind of number one tip is we have been walking billboards for ourselves, because I work in a huge hospital with I'm around nurses and respiratory therapists and doctors all day long who I've worked with forever. And they have visibly seen a change in me physically. And they've also seen a transformation in me, in my mood and my general disposition. And people have said, like, wow, you just seem like happier. You look great. Like, and I'm like, yeah, thanks. I'm doing this new thing. Like, and I was very intentional about, for everything from the start. And I always bring my shaker bottle to work. I always drink my shake in front of my coworkers, breakfast and lunch. And people start asking questions because they want to know. They're curious. What are you doing? Is that keto? Is it this? Is it that? And it gives me, every time somebody asks, it opens the door to a new conversation. And every time I'm like, I light up when I talk about it, because I genuinely love the products. And I think that comes across because you can't not be passionate about these products when you see the transformation I've seen. I'm new to this. I've only been doing this since Memorial Day, and I'm already down like over 30 pounds. And my husband is already down 21 pounds. And like, everything has changed for us, and not just weight loss. Like, we're sleeping better. We love meal planning and cooking together, sort of. He does most of the cooking, but we cleanse together, which makes it really fun. And, I try to make it fun for the people that I've signed up at work, and we try to like schedule cleanse days together, and we'll like sneak off to the little like break room and like do our cleanse shots, or like eat our Isadelights, and we'll say like, okay, is it time for chocolate? And we'll like go together as a group, and even people from different units will like collectively meet to do it. So I've tried to kind of make it fun, and we collectively have enrolled 28 of our coworkers. 28. Like, that's insane. I've been doing this since Memorial Day, and like, I don't know. So that's kind of my first tip, is just, be proud of what you're doing, and use intention to kind of share your story. And I bring my shaker cup to play cafes when I take my kids, and I'm always ready for that conversation. And then my second piece of advice is, and this has kind of been a big one for me, is I've had to make myself very vulnerable. And I know people have said that before, but it's so true. I remember Katie in the beginning saying, okay, you have to take your before pictures. And I was like, okay, yeah, like I'm not doing that. And I reluctantly did it. And I like cried when I took them, because I was so like mad at myself for letting myself get that way. And, you know, that's my biggest tool, is that before and after picture, because people, when they see that, they're shocked. They're like, is this you? Like, how can this be you? You don't look like that. And I'm like, that's because I wear scrubs, because you don't see everything. And I've, you know, I never had intentions of sharing that picture when I first took it, but I did it because Katie tells me to do something and I do it. She has like a superpower over me. And I thank you, Katie, because I am so glad I did that. I feel like it's the best way to track your progress and measuring your inches and everything like that and weighing yourself. But to see those pictures, even when you don't feel like you might be losing weight or making progress, is so powerful and impactful, and people around you notice that. And when somebody says to you, like, your face looks skinnier, you're like, what? Okay, keep going. This is amazing. So I think it's just boosted my confidence. But I've had to be vulnerable and post things that I would never normally post. Like, I don't want the whole world to see that. That's not something that I feel comfortable posting. But over time, you just, like Zach Slobin always says, like, stop caring what people think. And it's so true. Like, why do I care? You know, I mean, people overshare all kinds of things that we don't want to see. And if they don't want to see this, they can keep scrolling. But it's helped so much in the way that we've, you know, enrolled people. And even Steven, you know, he works in a small mortgage company, and men are coming up to him. A coworker came up to him after watching him for about a month and watching his progress and asking at the break room, or, you know, like at the water station and all this stuff. And one day he just came up to Steven and said, here's my credit card. Sign me up. So, like, he didn't even have to have that conversation and have to, like, be persuasive and try to, like, you know, whatever. He's just like a magic. I don't know. Steven, do you have any tips? Anything you want to add?
Be awesome.
Hey, Steven, what would you say maybe to a female who's having trouble if either her husband's not as supportive, or maybe to some of these awesome guys on the line that are wanting to share? Do you have any tips for them?
I'll tell you that I realistically was not. It's not that I wasn't supportive, because I'm 100% supportive in everything Nikki does.
Yeah, that's true.
But what I didn't want our entire life to be Isagenix at the time. I wasn't bought in. I wasn't doing the products. She was super passionate about it. And it was the time that we have together is so minuscule. And it was, how was your day? And when I would ask that, it was always about Isagenix, you know, and it seemed to me that it was taking over. And so we had that tough conversation, and I went to bed, and I'll be the first one probably to curse on here, but I felt like shit when I woke up, because I was like, I let her down. Like, that's not supportive. That's not following my vows. That's not being the husband I want to be. And stop it. And so I thought about it, and I said, all right, get me my box. Let's do it. If you're going to do it, I'm going to do it. Let's do it together. And it was great. And, you know, I got to meet Katie yesterday. We hung out yesterday, and I see why Nikki followed Katie, because she is very passionate and persuasive and a great coach. And Nikki is a great coach to me and to the people that, you know, we work together with through this company. I see what she does. And so it makes me want to keep striving. And I had a goal. I turned 40 this year, and so my goal was to be under 200 pounds by the time I turned 40. And I am there. I've been there for 3 weeks now. So yeah. So now I've been. Yay! Thank you. So now I have a new goal. It's my high school weight. So that's where I'm going next.
Okay, so then what would you say as you're sharing at work to men? How has it been just literally doing? I mean, that's how John would do it, and he would always say, "It's my wife's nutrition business," or whatever. It's our family's. At work, he couldn't really say his, so he would always say my wife's, and he would use the shakes openly. Do you have any tips for some of the guys sharing, or if any women want to have their husbands try it?
I haven't signed up too many guys. So the one guy, Ryan, who was on my team, he literally came up to me after a while. He had hit rock bottom, and he had handed me his credit card and just said, "Here, just sign me up. I don't figure it out." I have another buddy of mine who's one of my best friends who signed up, and you know, he was basically the same way. We went golfing one day, and he hadn't seen me in a couple months, and he said, "How you look like you've lost weight?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm down, 18 pounds." And he said, "What are you doing? Is it easy?" The biggest thing is it easy, and can you still drink alcohol on it? And and I said, "Hey, listen, you can do whatever you want to, but it's how much do you want to lose weight and how much do you want to follow the program? If you follow the program, then it's going to work for you." And he signed up, and he says he's feeling great. I was texting with him tonight, and he's feeling amazing. And then I have, I think, are those the only two guys that I have?
I think so.
Yeah, I think those are the only two guys I have. And the other thing is, like Nikki said, I'm a walking billboard, and my boss is really into fitness. And me on our leadership team, me, him, and another guy track our weight every week, and we kind of post our weight on a bulletin board in his office. And my starting weight at the beginning of the year when we started doing it was 233.5. And now this weekend I was 195.6. So it was not all Isagenix from that, but so that's the thing, is just being, again, like Nikki said, being vulnerable and telling those numbers, and the things that we used to try and wear dark shirts to hide, the weight. Now it's wearing things that are actually fitting and showing who we are.
Awesome. I love that. You guys are very inspiring. Thank you so much. I love seeing you interact together. Go team Richie. Is it Richie?
Yeah.
Richie, yep. Richie. Yep.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much. And I think you just giving the people that work or in community, reminding people to utilize their community and to do this as a community and as a group, I think is powerful. And you guys are holding each other accountable, and it's fun. And I love those tips. So thank you so much. And cheers to being the #1 enroller in July. All right. Let me pull everybody back up. You guys, this was epic. Are you excited? Are you excited to enroll like 1 million people this week? What I loved and why I picked all these different people to come on here is because I want you to see there is no right way. I hope you took something from each person that you can apply and maybe do a little differently, shift what you're doing, incorporate something new this week. Because even, I've been doing this for over 4 years, 4.5 years. We just enrolled a couple new people this weekend. One of them's on the call. I know. I think 2 of them are. Jamie, hi. I know Marissa, you're there. Hi, Warren. So it's exciting, but it's always finding new ways. And I love, like Mary, just making friends everywhere. It's what we do, adding value to people's lives, all that. So this will be recorded. If you want to go back, take notes again. I'm excited for a big week. It's beginning soon. So look for things on Team Anchor Biz every day. And I'm just cheering you guys on. So excited for what's to come. Thank you all for pouring into us tonight. And we'll see you soon. Take care.
Good night. Thank you.